Hello, today we are here for the third podcast of Digital Practice for Inclusive Program project. Today we are going to talk about the courses we are developing within the project, each one based on a different digital resource according to the needs of the target group in each country. We start with Jeppe from Clavis. Could you give me an overview of the digital resource you choose?
Yes, first of all, we decided to produce a web page for migrants with special needs. But a web page is basically a container, and this web page we produced contains a lot of multimedia, and that is pictures, video, audio file, and a little text. But one of the purpose was not to have too much text, so it's rich media. The design is made very simple and intuitive and without a login or account. So it's very easy to use. Everyone, discard their language skills or their digital competences, can use this tool. So that's one of the purpose, that it should be very simple and very easy to use.
Have you tested it or are you planning to test it?
Yeah, the tool we produced cover a need we have at my college, which is a language school. So the teachers use it already. When we start producing and it was online, they used it. And when we develop it further, they used it. And they used it basically in the normal life today. So there's a test there. But the more structured test which also should include feedback, we have planned to do after the summer. So we can get feedback and make adjustments according to that feedback. But actually also yesterday I tested the webpage here in Palermo with my project colleagues. So they learned a few Danish words and they could.
How could it be transferable into other sectors?
Actually, I'll say there's many sectors, if not all sectors, where there's a need for very simple and intuitive web page without complex login and accounts. And if you can make this very simple approach, I think many sectors could use that. Also, the extensive use of rich media could be transferred to several sectors. When you have to do explanation, when you have to do a collection of information or also teaching, it's very good to have all these pictures and videos. Text works in some settings where you have to describe something, but in many other settings, media is more strong to get a clear message through.
Did you face any difficulties during the process, and if so, how you overcome them?
One of the difficulties is that when many people together work on one product, there is a risk that it will get chaotic. So you have to work very structured and you have to be consistent and strict on the same structure. Otherwise, it will go away. Also, when you search for pictures online, you have to be aware of copyrights. Many people are not aware of that. And if you publish it on a web page, you have to be very sure of what you're doing. Or use databases for free pictures. Also, one of the difficulties was about producing your own media. And if you can do it in a simple way, it's not a problem, but you can also make it too complex and then nobody can work it out. But we overcome this problem by doing it very simple and using everyday tools such as this laptop without special programs and using the cell phone, which have many opportunities.
Now, Emily from Swedeas, could you give us an overview of your tool?
Yes, so the digital tool that we have chosen at Swedeas is the online learning platform Moodle. And the reason we chose this tool is because it can be easily adapted for persons with special needs. So Moodle can be used for distance learning, for blended learning, and also face-to-face learning. So it makes it a very flexible digital tool. And it contains accessibility settings that are adaptable for persons with special needs, like for dyslexia, ADHD, for example, or color blindness or other visual impairments. So it has also assistive technologies like screen readers can read Moodle. And when uploading content to Moodle, the teacher or advisor can use accessibility checkers to see that it is accessible for the learner. So the course we've developed on Moodle is called Communicating with Institutions. And we chose this topic because migrants, in the Swedish case at least, usually do not know how to reach out to public institutions that are available in their host countries, including services for persons with special needs. So we have developed a course called Communicating with Institutions, as I was saying, and it is structured as in 3 sections. We will have one first part, which is defining very simply the different types of institutions in Sweden, meaning their names and their basic functions. So we'll have some exercises in Moodle on this. And then how to communicate with these institutions, where we will have vocabulary exercises for basic sentences and words that are important to learn for communication. And finally, digital skills that are needed for communicating with these institutions, because Sweden is a very digital society, and apps and email, for example, are used quite broadly. And migrants with special needs might not be used to this, so we will have this section as well in the course. And as for the plan for the testing phase for this course, we plan to test it with the international migrant groups, including students with special needs in Sweden. And the idea is that this course should be informative to all migrants, not only tailored for those with special needs, but that it can be adapted to them through these accessibility settings so that it's inclusive for all. And the good thing about this, the Moodle, is also that it can be used by any public service institution that works with vulnerable populations. It allows to create content and courses that are easy to understand, simple, and accessible. So for persons with disabilities as well. So any person actually that works with a target group that includes persons with dyslexia or color blindness, ADHD or visual impairments can make use of Moodle and its accessible format to upload information, create a course, or create an exercise. The only difficulty with this tool is that it could sometimes maybe be difficult for migrants who do not have the prior knowledge or experience of using online tools. But we're also going to try to make it available on the mobile, which is more used than, for example, laptops, especially among migrants who are among the younger population.
Now, Maria from Active Citizens Partnership, could you give us an overview of the digital resource you choose?
Okay, ACP chose their digital resource according to a basic need migrants that are living in Greece have, that is the language learning. So the digital resource we chose is an H5P activity called dictation. H5P activities in general are interactive activities that can be embedded into Moodle and make a course more interactive and interesting for the learners. So the dictation activity is exactly what is meant to be, but is in an online format. This activity enables the migrants to practice their writing skills in different levels also. The level of the exercises depends on the educators, and it can be adapted to the migrants' needs. We chose this course as there are a lot of migrants living in Greece for a lot of years, and even if they are able to speak Greek, they lack of writing skills. The course is structured in a way that is easily understandable and gives the information to the user on how to go through the course and what they will learn there, and it leads them to the exercises that have been created from their teachers. This way, they are called to practice their writing skills by listening to audios and write what they are listening. It is important also to say that they can check their mistakes right after they finish each exercise. That is a way also to give direct feedback.
Have you tested or are you planning to test it?
We have not tested the course yet, but we are working on it. We are going to work with refugees, and also some of them are going to school. So you understand that the course can be useful for them as they are also learning Greek right now. The course is easily adaptable also in other sectors. Dictation exercises can be easily adaptable in all school classes. Every person with special needs, disabilities like dyslexia, for example, needs to practice their writing skills. Also, each student has different needs according to their level of Greek and writing skills. So, a teacher, a special needs education teacher, or even the parents of a child can create exercises for them to enhance their writing skills, always, of course, according to their level. There is a consideration according to this resource. Not every person is familiar with using a computer, so for some people it can be difficult to enter or go through this course. However, it can happen with the help of another person or by following the instructions we have embedded in the course. These instructions explain exactly how to use the activity dictation, where to click, and where to submit your answers. We have tried to be as explanatory as possible.
Now, Julia from CESIE, could you give me an overview of the digital resource you choose?
Yes, here in Czechia, we choose a free online platform called Learning Apps. That is a platform that can help migrants with special needs be more included in their learning pathways. This because through the platform there is the possibility to create the so-called apps that are basically customizable exercises when it is possible to add several interactive features that make the learning process easier, funnier, and most important, more adaptable to each user needs. So this tool is really useful for migrants with special needs because it let add audio, video, and images that make the exercise accessible for those who have hearing impairments or some kind of visual impairments or some kind of special learning needs. Additionally, this digital platform is also really useful for remote learning for those who have not the possibility to physically reach the learning place for any reasons. The digital platform also lets create exercises like, for example, a drag and drop, multiple choices questions, memory games, matching pairs with images and text, closed text, and many more. And all these types of exercises let the user learn in a simple way and through exercises that are customized on his or her needs. We already tested these learning apps, these digital tools with some learners with migrant background. And after this testing phase, we collected their feedback, and for all the users who took part in this first testing phase, emerged that the digital platform is actually really useful for them because it let them learn in a simple way and through exercises that are adapted to their learning needs. They also said that the instrument helped them to learn better and faster, and that they felt more included in their learning class by using this tool. And finally, that they felt more confident in using this tool.
How could it be transferable into other sectors?
Well, actually, these digital tools is easily adaptable to other sectors, since the platform, as I said, lets choose the level of education, the topic of the exercises, and also the audio, video, or image component, and also the type of exercise. This is really easily transferable to other sectors and also to younger users.
Did you face any difficulties during the process, and if so, how you overcome them?
Well, the only difficulty encountered is the level of digital skills of the users. But it can be solved by having, for example, a person that explain and follow the user in doing the exercise, but also, as I said before, by creating exercises that are customized to the user needs and the level of education, and in this case also customized to the digital skills level of the users.
Now, Fatima from Iberica, could you give us an overview of your tool?
So Iberica's resource focus on the Moodle plugin for voice and voice video messages. And we have chosen this tool since many migrant students in our integration courses cannot follow the official learning plan due to structural or social issues, for example, including difficult home or family conditions. And they have to stay at home with the children, or they can have another work responsibilities. So these students, they cannot follow normal courses, and also they can have physical or mental disabilities, such as different visual or hearing abilities, dyslexia or anxiety. So these voice and video messages can be used at any level and with any topic, and the teachers can give everyone a chance to improve their language skills. And this could ensure that the learners are learning without any limitations or obstacles that they can encounter. For example, with this dyslexia, they cannot express their ideas, or they can write in time. And also these introvert learners, that they cannot express their opinions in classrooms, or also the students that they find difficulties in other circumstances, that they cannot improve the speaking skills. That is really important when we are talking about integration. So our course will include different exercises, interactive, and they are going to be progressive per level. We are going to have 8 in total. However, these exercises will be designed in a way that it's going to making them possible to solve all the problems for all the language levels. We haven't tested yet, but we are planning to test in July after the module has been completed. So let's say that this plugin has been already used also once in our classes, and it has received positive feedback. The students that we are working in our integration courses, they have low technical skills, and they found it really easy to use, and they record the voice messages and attach a file without any complications. Also, these participants that they suffer from social anxiety and they cannot express themselves, their opinions, they found it really easy instead of writing a message, and they enjoyed also practicing presentations of themselves in this way.
How could it be transferable into other sectors, and did you face any difficulties during the process?
So voice messages and video can have different practical applications. So for example, children and youth are always keen to use technology. They always have a phone in their hands. Also for elderly people, they can receive oral instructions, or even maybe with the communication with institutions, for example, sending a voice message instead of writing an email. The only difficulty that applies to the course could be the login, because, for example, most of Iberica students, they will get stuck at the beginning of the course because they won't read the instruction on how to log in, or maybe they won't open the email with the credentials, or they won't even have an email address. So, or even not knowing what is a login or what a password means. So every time we will start with we can organize a training session with the Moodle and show them step by step how to use this platform. In some cases, I would even say that the training must be conducted face to face, because we need to have the students in presence and use the help. Once it's done, I think this platform will perfectly work, and the Moodle navigation for the students will be fairly easy in desktop or online.